Hello, everybody. I'm Renee Varnadore. This is Soul Portal Journeys, and today we're going to be talking about the full moon coming up in a couple of days. I'm filming this on August 17th, and the full moon I'm talking about is the one August 19th, 2024. So yes, you may noticed I do have new glasses and I have like a black eye because I fell, but I'm fine. I'm feeling great. So I'm going to be sharing my insights about what I think that this new moon is coming up with. If you remember, or if you watched the new moon ceremony video that I did, you know that there were 4 archangels in this lunation of 28 days. Okay. Now we don't have the planets on those archangel stars anymore, but we do have some very, very interesting patterns happening in the sky. And if you don't know how to work with them, you could get triggered and not know how to use that cosmic energy that is happening for us, not to us. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The full moon is all about what is being illuminated. What are you able to see that you were not able to see before? And how can that help you and support you in your journey and your purpose here on the planet at this time? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I like to create little presentations. So I'm going to share screen. Share screen. Here we go. So here's the full moon. And this is when it is happening. It is happening at Pacific time at 11:16 on Monday, August 19th. Okay. Now, I listened to a lot of astrologers talk about the full moon and the new moon, but I like to look at my own insights and my own things that I want to tell you guys about. But one astrologer said something very interesting, Mark Lawrenson, who says, what sets you apart is what makes you whole. Interesting. He said this about this full moon, about the energies in this full moon. And since I am preparing a class about sacred union, I, of course, took his word whole and translated into holy language because that's what I like to do, sacred union. And instead of saying what sets you apart, what is your unique humanness? Because for me, it is through our unique humanness, and we can see that unique humanness in our astrology charts. Everyone has a different one. Maybe you were born the same day, but at different time, it's completely different. Maybe you were born in one place and then somebody else was born on the same day, same time, but in a different place. So there's variables that make each one of us unique, dealing with time and space, because while we're on the earth plane, we're dealing in this amazing cocoon of time and space where we actually get to be reflective. It's quite amazing. But it is through, this is the way I see it, it is through our unique humanness that we are able to step into sacred union within our own hearts. So I love talking about the stars and the moon and blah, 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 galaxies, nebula, da, da, da. Love it. But all of that is really helping us connect and activate the light within our own hearts, which is what is fueling us and what is motivating us on this planet at this time to be here as a help to other souls. So here we go. If you're watching me, you're already awake and you know that you're really a soul and that you have a body, not the other way around, But the next step of that is really looking at our integration. Once you wake up to that, how do we integrate that larger soulful self with this human self, this little ego that got constructed on purpose and in a unique way. So I have a course coming up that's going to address that more directly, but I thought it was interesting that this is coming up during this full moon. So here we go. This is what the chart looks like. And you see these. We're looking at the sun, okay, at 27 degrees, 15 minutes of Leo. We know we're in Leo season. We just had Lionsgate, right? And in Leo season, we're looking at the essence of ourself. So we're looking at that uniqueness, that unique humanness, okay? This whole chart, if a baby was born right at this full moon, this is what the baby's chart would be. And this would be a unique, if the baby was born in Rosarita Beach, this would be his unique signature. Okay. So, of course, in a full moon, the moon is opposite the sun. Okay, so the moon is also at 27 degrees, 15 minutes of Aquarius, which is the much more universal, the much more collaborative, the much more I love humanity as a collective, as a potentiality of being the bridge between heaven and earth on this planet at this time. So that's a more of an Aquarian perspective where we think with our hearts, where we have this heart wisdom and we move forward with this heart wisdom because we are concerned and we are caring for all of us because we know that we're all one. So why would you be angry with or upset with or have issues with those people that don't agree with my little Leo self, my little unique contribution? So we just being able to know that everyone is here doing their own unique contribution, which may be like, for me, destroying stuff. And for somebody else, maybe, oh, no, you're too scary. You're moving too far ahead. So there's all of that going on. But that's all human. And we can use our humanness to step into a sense of sacred union where we understand all of these beautiful, amazing astrology signs that the sun goes through. These are the astrology signs along the elliptical of the sun's travels. Amazing. Okay, what else do I notice about this full moon? I noticed that Mercury's in retrograde. You guys probably know that, right? But we've got actually 4 planets in retrograde, which means that we're in a reflective period. So even though things are being illuminated, they're being illuminated from within us, okay? And we get to reflect on all of the things that are happening, that have happened throughout our lives and are happening externally, and then taking that and being able to reflect and contemplate on that. So we're going to do a little meditation in a minute that's going to help with that. But before that, I just want to say Mercury, it was Cassini the sun a couple of days ago. And so Mercury just kissed the sun. So Mercury, actually, right now, Mercury is right at the same degree as the sun. And then he's moved off it by the full moon. So Mercury, when planets are right on the sun, Mercury does that, Venus does that, Mars does that. When Mercury doesn't, Mercury's the planet of communication. And so we can communicate more and more about our sun self, which is our solar self, which is our yang energy, our more masculine energy. We all have both masculine and feminine energy. Okay, I have a slide on that in a minute. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. And then also on the other side of the sun, this one is Vesta, and Vesta is an asteroid that relates to the Greek goddesses who were the Vestal virgins, and virgins in that day just meant women independent of any man who were complete and whole within themselves. So the Vestal virgins, that high priestess energy is with this sun. So this gives us an opportunity to look at and communicate with that part of us that is that is part of the goddess within us, part of the divine feminine. You all know the divine feminine is rising at this time, and it's rising so that there can be much more of an equal balance between the sacred masculine and the divine feminine, so that we are whole, so that we are bringing into sacred union these aspects of all of us. Then we may be too busy and distracted with the external world and what's going on in our little ego plan to really integrate all of these parts. But this is a good full moon for all of that. So Venus, the other goddess, is here in Virgo, and she is activating Saturn. So she's opposite Saturn right now. Okay. She's going to be moving into an opposition with Neptune later this month. So that's going to be exciting. But right now, what if Saturn helps us take all of these possibilities and focus them in to what it is we're going to be doing, what it is we want to focus our attention on, what it is we want to create, because we are creators. We should know that in Leo season, that we are creators. What are you going to create is an interesting question. So here's a line between Saturn, Venus, and Mars. Okay, so they're creating one of these little red triangles, which is called a T-square. All right, we're talking about T-squares over here. And so what happens when there's a T-square? Well, things happen in the external world. So things happen on the world stage. Things happen politically, political leaders in different countries, different wars, different arguments, different all sorts of different things are happening, different political campaigns, extreme right versus extreme left, and then finding the center. And because a majority of people are in the center, and there's a lot of change that people are wanting to see. So they go to one extreme or the other to pull that change in. That's one of the things that astrology teaches us when the sun and the moon are in opposition, how to resolve all of those tensions. So when we resolve all of those tensions within our own lives, eventually over hundreds and thousands of years, it resolves those tensions externally for the rest of the humanity on the earth plane. So here we go. So there's two actually of these T-squares that activate this kind of stuff, right? The other one is having to do with the sun, moon, and that one, these are at 27 degrees. And guess what? This one is Uranus, and Uranus is sudden and unexpected change. Now, when Mars and Uranus were conjunct each other in July, we had an unexpected event in the United States. One of the people running for president was assassinated at his, well, there was an assassination attempt at his rally. Okay. And that just kind of started an interesting spiral for him. So this is pretty powerful when you see what's going on in the sky and what you see going on here and what you see going on here. Now, how do you not get triggered by things that are happening in the sky? Basically, what's happening in the sky is that we're being shown that there are things within our own lives that we can work through and resolve. So we can work through, okay, sudden change in my life. How can I illuminate the sudden changes that are happening within my life? So we're looking at, here we go. We're looking at the sun and the moon. We're looking at the opposition, and we're looking at the sudden change. So instead of being triggered by what's happening with everybody else, those of us that are more integrative and working on our spiritual integration get to ask ourselves the question with Uranus, what unexpected changes are coming up for me at this time around my unique identity and my wholeness as part of the oneness of this planet. So what was the question for this other T-square with the Venus, Saturn, Mars? Well, let's take a look at it. There's Venus opposite Mars. There's and this is like in my chart. I'm going to give you an example from my chart. In my progress chart, which tells me what's going on a soul level, Venus and Saturn are conjunct, which is part of why what I'm talking about at this phase in my life is sacred union, because the divine feminine and the sacred masculine Saturn are conjunct in my soulful progressed chart. And if you don't know what that means, if you don't know enough astrology to understand what that means, don't worry about it. I'm going to get simpler after this. Okay. So these two, okay, the divine feminine, divine masculine coming together, what are they hitting? What are they coming in? Well, they're 18, 17, 18, 17 is Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So this sense of this feminine masculine within me, I'm opening up into an expansion. So it's not just like my little secret. It's like I'm opening it up so that more people can understand it. And the Mars is right on this with 19 degrees, right? Mars was just conjunct Jupiter. They were having a little conversation. When they were having that conversation, that's when I decided to do this sacred union class that I've come up with. So all of this that happens in the sky is part of what triggers little parts of our brain to pull in insights. Some of these insights about sacred union I've had since 2018. Okay. And they've been developing over the last few years. This is now 2024, if you're watching this later. And all of this stuff is just ready to pop and ready to be shared for me, from my perspective, from all the unique things that I have learned going in and studying and staying with what's going on within my soul and letting that lead me rather than what's going on in the external world and how I'm going to make money because XYZ is trending and blah, 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 blah. I could go crazy doing that stuff, so I don't do it anymore. I teach what's coming up for me from within. So here we go. So here's some of the things. Now there's some stars that are conjunct these. Okay. So let's take a look at the stars. Oh my goodness, look at this. The sun and the moon, the star that they are on when they are at the full moon in 2 days is Alphard. Wow. Okay. So what is that? That star helps us really see. It's this beautiful yellow light. And we're going to bring that star in when we do the meditation. We're going to bring in the yellow light and we're going to ask, okay, what is making me angry? Okay, so a lot of times anger comes up for us because there's a deep-seated fear that we can't even see. It's so deep, right? And the anger comes up to show us this, our emotions come up to show us what's going on. You know, what fear that's not even true. Fears are not true. Love is what is the essence of the universe and the essence between all of us. So what is all this fear coming up? You know, why did somebody get assassinated almost at a rally? Oh my gosh. You know, what is all this fear coming up? What am I angry about? Am I angry about violence? Am I angry about guns? Am I angry about the person that was talking? Am I angry about the person coming in, competing against that person? Where is my anger? And what fear is being triggered? Is it fear of the past, fear of the future and change? What am I afraid is going to be happening with the collective on the earth plane right now? What are my fears around that? How can I look at that and say, okay, how can I release that anger and move it into enthusiasm. How can I take that angry, what I'm angry about, and turn it into enthusiasm for in my case, integration of all these things that seem to be separate and extreme right, extreme left, extreme. This is not just happening in the US, extreme right, extreme left politics. It's happening all over the planet in different, they've had lots of countries with elections this year and several countries with wars. And how can we bring most of the United States and most of these other countries want to live from the center? How can we bring in that integration? How can we come to center within our own being so that we're not triggered every time something happens? So we've got all of this. We also have Pluto is went to 2 degrees. He's back to 0 degrees, and he is on 2 stars, Altar and Aldebar. Altar is helps us step out into courage. So if we see something that we're being illuminated by, and we're opening into this emotional clearing that can happen, we can have the courage to step forward and decide what is coming up from within me, what is being illuminated within me, what am I enthusiastic about at this time? In other words, enthusiasm just means, oh, the spirit touched me from within me, and now I can do all of this things that I didn't think I would even be able to share before. So courage is coming in for us at this time. What else is helping us? Achirna is, Saturn is right on Achirna, and that is like this, it's in a constellation of this beautiful flowing river. And so there's a beautiful flow. And Saturn is in Pisces, which is a very feminine, watery, intuitive sign. So our intuition has been flowing the whole time Saturn, for the last, over a year, Saturn's been in Pisces. And how that is opposite Venus, who's in an earth sign right now, giving grounding to this flow. So this is beautiful right here. And then a beautiful flow grounding is to this sacred union. The other one that is coming up is help and support, which is the star Shiat helps us open our crown chakra so that more support energy can come in from above and activate that within our heart, that same energy. So Shiat can open up, the star Shiat can open up our crown chakra, which helps connect us to our soulful self, our truest eternal self within our own heart, within our own being. So these are all helping us, plus Uranus, this unexpected change, asking the question, what unexpected change is coming up? Algol is the amazing star that is connected to Medusa. And Medusa in the patriarchal stories, the more masculine stories, when they were threatened by strong women, Medusa was a strong woman, and they depict her with snakes coming out of her head, and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's behead that, all those snakes. But what's really happening with all of those snakes is life energy coming out of the pineal gland, coming out of the pituitary, coming out of the left brain, right brain, center of the brain, the connection between the two sides of the brain coming together. All of these connections are what's happening within this woman who is strong and integrated within her own self, with both the masculine and the feminine, with both the divine and the human. And so that is the unexpected change that Uranus is bringing to us. It's time for us to have this sense of sacred union within our own being, okay? It has to happen within us first before it can happen outside of us. But that's, amazing. So here we are. If you want to see this is Hydra. This is where Alphard, this is the this is the star that the sun and the moon are on. The sun is right on it. The moon is opposite it. So this is our star right here that helps us understand, okay, what is making us angry, and how can we accept that we're angry about this and turn this into enthusiasm for what we see as what is necessary to bring to this planet that is our unique gift. And when we see our unique gift and start doing it, that's when sacred union happens within us. So that's Alphard. Here is, it's interesting. This is Sabian Symbols, and it is on this website by James Burgess. There's his website, jamesburgess.com. I don't know why it changed into a different color, but what the heck. See if it will do it. Yep, there it goes. Okay, no, it didn't do it. So anyway, Leo at 28 is about many little birds on a limb of a large tree. These Sabian symbols came from Elsie Wheeler, who was an intuitive medium in 1925. And she sat down with a astrologer, and they went through every degree of the zodiac. And for where this Leo sun is during this full moon, Leo 28 is many little birds on a limb of a large tree. Interesting that Leo's opposite where the moon is right now, Aquarius 28, a tree felled and sawed. So we've got trees. It's unusual to have the same image, okay, in, the same lunation, in the same full moon lunation. But we've got trees in both of them. And in this case, we are expanding our perception in order to see more deeply. So whatever comes up for you, whatever is being illuminated during this full moon, it is expanding our perception so that we can see more deeply. And when that happens, we're really, really able to work on behalf of the collective, not just in service to the collective, as opposed to in service to our little self. And to a house on the beach. Well, that was nice, but I healed, and I'm loving the fact that because I healed after satisfying one of my little ego desires, I was able now to be able to serve the collective in ways that I couldn't have done when I was just seeking, my own financial security. So here's the star Shiat that we're going to bring in the meditation. Here's the star Alberio, which is one of the ones Pluto was on. Here's the star Altara that helps us bring in our courage. And here's the star Arcturus that I forgot to talk about. It's been on Chiron, opposite Chiron in Eris for a long time. Chiron helps us understand what our sacred wounds are, and Eris helps us be fierce with grace. So Eris she's fierce grace. She's another integrated being. So here we go. This is how I this is the way I see sacred union. There is a way to demonstrate it. The Vesica Pisces. So here's the feminine circle, okay? Feminine yin energy, the moon energy, and that's where the moon's in Aquarius right now. And then the other circle, the other golden circle of spirit, is the masculine, the divine masculine. Why? Because it's within the divine circle of spirit that we are all within. The divine masculine, which is the yang energy that all of us have. It's the sun energy, and the sun's in Leo right now. So we're talking about the merging of opposites within the eye of the heart. So these two circles were within, if we're looking at our own heart, we have each of these circles, and within our own heart, there is this merging, there is this overlap of these energies, there is this integration, this spiritual integration. After awakening, oh, I'm more than this body. There is integration. Okay, now how do I integrate this feminine, masculine, this, how do I take care of these and do these baby steps that anchor this into the earth so that I'm creating actually things that other humans can perceive and work through. And the divine energy of this masculine and feminine also. So we're looking at kenosis, which is a Greek word that Mary Magdalene uses in her gospel. And I think it's the Gospel of Philip that talks about kenosis and anthropos, but that's what they were doing. That's what Mary Magdalene and Yeshua were actually doing when they were here on the earth plane. They were spiritual partners and they were working together. They were both coming into divine union, and they were coming into sacred union with their humanness and their divinity. So they were the happening on the horizontal and on the vertical. So that is what we're going to be doing today. We're looking right here in the eye of the heart, and we're going to be asking ourselves the question I always ask during every full moon: what is being illuminated within me now? What is being illuminated within me now? We're looking within the deepest part of our soul, within our own hearts. What then the next question, after we do this one for a while, the next question: what baby step will I create to anchor in this light, this full moon light? Okay. So that's the question. So I'm going to leave this question up, and now we're going to move into the meditation. If you like to write, stop this and get a journal, get a pen. If you want to notice what time this has been going on for like a half an hour. So the meditation is like a half an hour in. You want to connect to that and come back to this. You can spend as much time in silence during the meditation, so you can click stop. So here we go. Let's now move into the meditation, having our feet on the ground. It's very important to bring up the earth energy. We're here serving the earth at this time. The earth is supporting us just as we are supporting the earth. So we're letting the earth energy come up, with feeling the earth energy on our feet. Even though our feet may be on a floor, we may be inside our house. Underneath our floor, there is earth. There is earth. So we're feeling our sense of touching the earth with the bottoms of our feet, as if we were trees, because we've got two trees imagery in the Sabian symbols for this full moon. So we've got tree energy coming up, like trees as a home for birds. So bringing up that tree energy, those roots going down, 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 all the way to the Earth Star chakra, 2 feet below our feet, bringing that earth energy up our feet, up our legs, up to our root chakra, where we know we belong on the earth at this time. And we bring that beautiful earth energy into our sacral chakra, where we have our creativity, where we have our womb space. And it is within our womb space that a lot of this sacred union and spiritual integration happens. It is this womb of creation. We can biologically, physically create human children, but our womb also can create amazing integrations for us within our lives once we clear the emotionality. So we're being invited by Alphard to clear this emotion of anger right now. What are we angry about? What is within our emotional sacral chakra that has a deep fear that we can clear right now and move into enthusiasm for our own life mission here on the earth plane. Now we move that energy up to this beautiful earth energy coming into the solar plexus chakra, where we can know that we are safe to serve humanity and we don't have to worry about harming other people with our power, because we are working with the power of love, not the love of power. The love of power, we're in service to ourselves. The power of love, we are serving the entire planet and all the beings on it. And then we move into this earth energy into our heart chakra, and we're going to leave some of this beautiful earth energy in our heart chakra. If we need any heart healing right now, if some unexpected change has come up in our lives, thanks to this beautiful algo star, this integration star, this sacred union star algo coming up in our lives, what's unexpected? We're able to take that unexpected thing that came up, and instead of having it break our heart and close our heart, be able to break open our heart and release some of the bounds binding our heart, so that we can now go more deeply into the heart. So we're opening now our heart, healing, leaving some healing energy here to work as our attention comes up into our throat chakra, where we're able to see and speak our own truth. If we are not lying to ourselves or hiding things from ourselves, we can speak truth. So we're bringing earth energy up, noticing anything that we have been hiding from ourselves, allowing that to also be true, and both and. It is not negating anything. What we're hiding from ourselves is not negating anything. The truth is integrative. Both and can be true. Then moving to the third eye chakra, we're opening the third eye. We are having this earth energy come in so that we don't flood our third eye with too much information. We're just bringing in the next thing we need to see, that next thing that we hid that we need to see now. Now we are, with the help of the star Shiat coming through, we are opening our crown chakra, bringing earth energy to this crown chakra so that Shiat doesn't shock us too much, doesn't bring in too much all at once, but brings in that next thing, that next piece of beautiful yellow light that we need to see, that beautiful Alphard light that we need to see, that beautiful Shiat opening this crown chakra so that that Alphard light can come in and show us our next thing. That algo light, that integration light, all of these lights coming in, helping us. Altar coming in, and then the archangels coming in to support us. The archangel, the frequency, this angelic frequency of Arcturus, where we are being unconditionally supported by the archangels. They showed up for us at the new moon. They are still here, even though we can't see them in the chart. Archangel Gabriel, helping us see the message we are here to bring at this time. Archangel Raphael, who is helping us heal from times we've brought messages before that didn't land, and now we can see and open again for a message that can land. We can look at Archangel Michael for protection as we step out as spiritual warriors, and we can step into Archangel Uriel, who is helping us know that with the power of love, we can be of service and not worry of doing harm unintentionally from our own service to self power seeking. So we've got all these archangels within, coming in, helping us, all of their stars, Aldebaran, Antares, Fomalhaut, Regulus, all of the stars of the archangels I just mentioned, coming in beautifully to our heart chakra now. We have some earth energy and some beautiful star energy now within our own hearts. We have what is happening on the earth plane. We have what is happening in our everyday daily life, and that being integrated now with the light, the insights, the enthusiasms coming in from above, coming in at this full moon, all of these stars triggered, all of this energy triggering to help us, coming in, helping us be the most beautiful, whole, unique version of ourselves. And now we're going to inhale, and we're going to ask ourselves the new moon, full moon question: what is being illuminated within me now? The answer may come to you in a picture, a word, a color, a scent, a phrase, a feeling, a feeling in your body, a feeling in your heart, a feeling, a picture, a movie. So however it comes, accept that as your answer to this question. What is being illuminated within me now? What is being illuminated within me now? So you just want to experience within your own heart silently for a moment. Okay, if you need more time, you can stop this and replay it. Okay, our next question is, what baby step will I create to anchor in this light? So maybe you saw a color. What can you do? Maybe you saw the color yellow because Alphard is bringing us this yellow light. Maybe you saw that. How can you anchor that light? Because the feeling of it, what did you feel when that was happening, when you were perceiving this light coming into your heart? What was that? How can you anchor that light so it's not just something you forget about, but it becomes something you are paying attention to in your daily life? So what baby step will I create to anchor in this light? So I'm going to leave you a quiet moment. What baby step will I create to anchor in this light? Okay, now when you've got your baby step, okay, you can write it down in your journal. Okay, how'd you get your journal? You just have a piece of paper, that's totally fine. Write down, what baby step will I create to anchor in this realization of what's being illuminated within my heart right now? For me, I've been talking about it. I've been talking about this course that I'm in the middle of creating, that I'm going to be inviting people into and giving people little snippets and pieces of pretty soon in September. Okay, so those are the baby steps that I'm creating right now, because that's what's being illuminated within me at this time. So once you've written that down, I want to invite you into a couple of possibilities of how to help you do this. How sometimes an actual human person can help you with the process of integrating your own stuff the work is all you, okay? But I could be your cheerleader. I can hold the light, or like with these kinds of meditations, while you open the portal to your soul, which is what we just did, to find out what's being illuminated. At the new moon, we find out what is being conceived within you. So the next new moon ceremony, we do a whole ceremony where we drink water to bring things in, and we go into a communion with chocolate and all of this stuff. So our next new moon ceremony is September 3rd, which is a Tuesday, the day after Labor Day in the United States, at noon Pacific Daylight Time. Okay. And if you are interested in what your unique essence is, because this is Leo season, so people are interested right now, what is uniquely me? What did I bring? What did I bring with me that I'm supposed to be using? Am I using it? People come in, they have that question. Oh, what am I supposed to be doing? And we find out you've been using it. You've been doing it. And that is actually very freeing for a lot of people to realize of all the stuff they're doing. Oh, this, these are the things that I came here to do. So it's very clarifying and focusing for people. So that's possible. I'm on this price only lasts until August 31st, because September, October, November, I'm going to be focused all my attention on this spiritual integration class. I'm doing promotional live classes on Zoom. These ones are free, September 4th, 5th, and 6th. We're going to talk about sacred union. I'm going to have more of those gold circles and how those work, and how that integration process works. Then I'm going to talk about the Gospel of Mary, because the Gospel of Mary talks about being able to move from our humanness into our graces. And that's very important. That's right there embedded in this 2,000-year-old Gospel of Mary. That's going to be on September 5th. And then we need powerful angels, in my opinion, to help us. So we've got 22 archangels gracing us with their support, and how to actually move from our humanness into our divinity. Oh my gosh. Can we do it in 10 weeks? So these are little sneak previews of what I think can happen for somebody in 10 weeks. If they're open-hearted, they're already awake, they're already starting the spiritual integration process. So sacred union with Mary Magdalene and the archangels. Duh, that's what it's about. The classes start September 10th. They go till November 12th. If you are worried about, oh my gosh, is this going to be an expensive course? Well, it's not going to be free. But if you're worried about that, come to all of these, because there's going to be bonuses. There's going to be discounts, and one lucky person is going to win 50% off of this 10-week course. If you're interested at all, join my email list by emailing me at dhhealing@gmail.com. You may already be on my email list if you are clicking this from your email. Okay, so don't worry, just reply from this email. But for those of you watching, I had 2 people that just happened upon this video for the new moon who joined my new moon ceremony. So if that's you, welcome. Subscribe so that you find out about the new moon ceremony and all the other things that I'm doing, plus all these 3 classes, right? You want to subscribe if you're interested in these free classes. You know, you don't have to take the class to get something out of these free classes, right? It's just for those people that say it's time. A few people will be saying it's time, and they'll want to do this. But I think everyone can benefit from this. So subscribe, like this. You put a little like on this, and that will be helpful for other people to find this. You can also join my Facebook group, which you can search in Facebook if you're on Facebook, Soul Portal Journeys Sisterhood, or my name, Renee Varnadore, which this link will be in the show notes. So if you go to see more, you'll see the link to my Facebook group. You'll see my email address. Okay. So you'll see some information. Plus you're going to see this thing that brings you to my calendar that will let you book a session with me, a soul purpose astrology session with me. So these are the three things that are in the show notes. I hope that you got something interesting from the meditation, and that you are going to commit to your baby step. I'm working on this spiritual integration promotional classes every single day, every morning, right after I sing to the ocean. This is what I'm doing. This is part of my spiritual integration, part of my sacred union within my own being. What are you doing? Okay. So thank you for listening to this whole thing. It's been a lot longer than I thought. I had way more to say than I thought I did, but I was willing to open up what I was hiding from myself about what I wanted to say, and be able to let you know what's on my heart to be giving at this time. So I hope you join me in some way or another. And I look forward to seeing you at the new moon, or one of these, or all of these classes. So you have 4 opportunities first week of September to jump in and get a little bit more. So love and blessings to everybody. Sending you grace and love and hope. Bye-bye.